A lot of people believe this one thing. They think, I'll be happy once I reach my goals. When I make more money. When I get the body. When I succeed. When life finally looks right. And yeah, that idea sounds motivating. It gives you something to chase. But here's the problem no one talks about. It teaches you to delay happiness. You're telling yourself, not now, later. Right now isn't good enough. And if you can't feel okay now, you won't suddenly feel okay later. Here's why. Goals change what's outside of you. Your lifestyle, your comfort, your situation. But happiness doesn't live outside. It lives inside your head. In how you see your life. In how you talk to yourself. When nobody's watching. And that's the part most people avoid. Because it's easier to chase goals than to sit down and deal with your own mind. This is what usually happens. You reach a goal. You feel good for a moment. Then it fades. The new level becomes normal. And your brain goes, okay, what's next? So happiness moves again. Next goal. Next milestone. Next I'll be happy when. That's why happiness never stays. Your brain adapts fast. If happiness came from achievements, successful people would be the happiest people on this earth. But we know that's not true. Now listen, this doesn't mean goals are bad, don't get me wrong. Goals are good. They give you direction. They keep you moving. But goals aren't meant to carry your happiness. When you say, I'll be happy when I reach this goal, you turn life into a waiting room. And life doesn't happen one day. It happens now. Here's a hard truth. If your mind is messy, success won't clean it up. If you don't respect yourself now, status won't fix that. Peace is something you build, not something you unlock later. And this is where true happiness starts. It starts with gratitude, not fake positivity, not pretending everything is perfect, just noticing what you already have, your health, your body, your time, a roof, food, another day to try again. Most people overlook these things because they're chasing more. But the fastest way to feel happier is to stop for a second and say, I have enough right now. Second, helping others. Not for attention, not for social media, just small, real things. Like feeding stray cat, for example. Helping a homeless person with food. Checking on someone who's struggling. Those moments hit different. Because for a second, your problems stop being the center of the world. You feel useful. You feel human. And that kind of happiness feels real. It stays longer. That strange feeling when you go home and remember you helped someone. I don't know how to describe it in words, but it feels like you did what you were supposed to do. Your role. Maybe that's what purpose is. Think about it. Some of the best feelings in life don't come from winning. They come from giving. That's why someone with less can feel more peace than someone who has everything. We see that all the time. So what's the move? You do both. You chase your goals. You stay disciplined. You improve your life. But you also practice gratitude for what you have. Presence in simple moments. Helping others without expecting anything back. Here's a thing to remember. Goals improve your life. Gratitude and kindness improve how life feels. Success without peace feels empty. Peace without direction feels stuck. You need both. So don't delay happiness to a future version of yourself. That version never really comes. Build happiness on the inside. Build goals on the outside. And let them grow together. The strange thing about happiness is that you don't notice it while you're inside it. You don't sit there and think, wow, I'm happy right now. Happiness isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. You only start chasing happiness when it's gone. When you're sad. When something feels missing. That's when the question shows up. Why don't I feel happy anymore? But think about it. Those moments when you were laughing with your friends, talking about nothing, joking. You weren't searching for happiness. You weren't trying to fix your life. You were just there. And those moments, that was real happiness. Happiness is usually quiet. It lives in moments, not thoughts. The problem is, our brain doesn't register happiness the way it registers pain. Pain demands attention. Happiness just happens, so we forget it. We remember stress. We remember failure. We remember what went wrong. But we forget the small, good moments that were actually enough. That's why later in life you look back and say, those were the good days, even though back then you didn't know it. Not because life was perfect, but because you were present. Happiness isn't something you constantly feel. It's something you realize after it passes. And that's the trap. We think happiness is a permanent state, something we're supposed to hold on to. But happiness is more like a visitor. It shows up, sits with you, then leaves. And that's okay. The goal isn't to feel happy all the time. That's impossible. The goal is to notice happiness when it shows up, to slow down for a second and say, this moment, this is enough. Because one day, you will remember this version of your life, the late nights, the random laughs, the simple moments you didn't think mattered. And you realize you were happier than you thought. So don't wait until life gets heavy to start looking for happiness. It's already hiding in ordinary moments. You just have to be there when they happen.